Good morning to all of you. As it is 19th of April 2021, our class is 11th and our subject is economics. Today's our topic is concept of variable, its meaning and types. Dear students, as previously we learned about various components of calculation of data, wherein we learned about organization of data, presentation of data, classification of data. Then we learned about various methods of calculating data. For example, we learned about random sampling, stratified sampling, mixed sampling, etc. So today our topic is concept of variable. It is one of the feature of obtaining data. So let us first know its meaning. A variable is a measurable unit. A variable is a measurable unit or feature whose value changes over time. What is variable? A variable is a measurable unit. Its first connotation or introduction part of this concept itself reveals that it is a variable. Variable means which changes. It is a variable, is a measurable unit or feature whose value changes over time. Means it is when we are going to make use of a variable, its value may change over time. It refers to that quantity. Here the word it stands for variable. It refers to that quantity which keeps on changing and which can be measured by some unit. Which can be measured by some unit. In order to know about the change, the positional change of a unit, we have to go to the basic concept, that is the unit which we are going to ascertain. It is a quantity, means variable is a quantity which can assume a range of numerical values within certain limits. Means it can assume a range of numerical values. Numerical stands for, suppose in a mathematics we symbolize it as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But in economics, suppose if we are going to find out the income potentiality of a certain group or population within a locality, here the income component will act as a variable. Similarly, if we want to know the height of the students reading in 11th class, we take height as a variable. Weight, if we want to know about the weight of the students, the weight will itself stand as a variable. Okay? And if we measure height of the students of a class, then height is considered or regarded as a variable. Okay? Then we now want to know about its types. There are broadly two types of variable. One is discrete variable and the next one is continuous variable. A variable that takes a whole number as a variable is called a discrete variable. A variable that takes a whole number as a variable is called a discrete variable. Okay? Then these variables are fluctuating. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 or 20, etc. It means they change their position, but in an unsystematic manner. Means here it is 4, 2, it ought to be 3, it ought to be, then it ought to be 4, but here it is 2, then it jumps to 4, then 6, then maybe 10 or 12 or 13, etc. These variables represent a group. These variables represent a group within a family or a class. Okay. Now what is a discrete variable? a variable that takes a whole number as a variable is called a discrete variable. These variables are fluctuating, for example 2, 4, 6, 10, 8, etc. These variables represent a group within a family, etc. Okay, then we are having another type of variable, that is continuous variable. A variable that can take any value. A variable that can take any value within a reasonable limit. Here what it was, that takes a whole number as a variable. Here a variable that can take any value within a reasonable limit, means the limit should be a reasonable one. And these variables increase in fractions, not in jumps. These here, it increases in fractions, not in jumps. Here it jumps. So far as discrete is concerned, here it fluctuates in an unprecedented manner. And then we are having the third component, or the third type of variable, the third part of this, that is these variables take arithmetic progression, shape. For example, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it means that these variables can increase, can change their position in a systematic manner or in a proportionate manner. Means that they proceed progressively, not in jumps, or they don't fluctuate in an unprecedented manner. So what we learned today, we learned what is a variable. So what is variable? Variable is a measurable unit or feature whose value changes over time. It refers to that quantity which keeps on changing and which can be measured by some unit. Okay, it is a quantity which can assume a range of numerical values within certain limits. For example, income, height, weight, etc. If we measure height of the students of a class, then height is considered or is to be regarded as a variable. Then we learnt about its types. First type is discrete, second is continuous. So far as discrete is concerned, a variable that takes a whole number as a variable is called discrete variable. These variables are fluctuating, for example 2, 4, 6, 10, etc. These variables represent a group within a family, or within a group means within a class. Then we are studying here continuous, a variable that can take any value within a reasonable limit. Here the word reasonable is very important. Here a variable that can take any change, any shape within a reasonable limit. These variables increase in fractions, not in jumps. These variables take arithmetic progression, shape, etc. Okay, and this much is enough for today.